Hola, bienvenidos a Costa Rica. Hidden in the beautiful mountains of Costa Rica is the town of Monteverde. Known for its cloud forest and beautiful wildlife, Monteverde is a popular destination for tourists. Tourists outnumber the residents by almost 4 times. There are about 6,000 full-time residents that live in the town, but 240,000 tourists visited last year. The small amount of residents are unable to keep up with the influx of people to their community.
In turn, impairs the health of the population, which is experiencing impaired gas exchange related to air and dust pollution as evidenced by unpaved dirt roads. The main road to Monteverde is unpaved. Due to the increase in tourists, more cars and buses are on the roads, which causes more dust to be strewn into the air and more emissions to be released. According to the World Bank, in 2008, Costa Rica's CO2 emissions were 1.77 metric tons per capita. This number has been steadily increasing the past years. Compared to the United States, Costa Rica has a small CO2 emission. In 2014, the United States emitted 16.4 metric tons of CO2, although this number has been on the decline the past few years. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, in Missouri, CO2 emissions were between 20 to 25 millions of metric tons per capita in 2011. According to the World Data Atlas, Costa Rica consumed 6.7 metric tons of ozone-depleting chlorofluorocarbons, or CFCs, in 2009. This was down 51.8% from the 2008 consumption of 13.8 metric tons. This is higher when compared to the U.S., who consumed negative 223.6 metric tons of CFCs. Data for the actual state of Missouri was not available as CFCs are being phased out. These two health indicators are part of the UN Millennial Goals. Goal number 7 is to ensure environmental sustainability. One of the health indicators that measures the progress to this goal consists of measuring the consumptions of CFCs and emissions of CO2s. Even though Costa Rica CO2 emissions has been steadily increasing, they decreased from 2008 to 2009, which shows progress. Overall, Costa Rica is doing a great job decreasing their environmental impact on the world and meeting one of the health indicators required to fulfill the 7th millennial goal. The dust and emissions in the air also irritates airways, causing an increase in allergies, asthma, and other respiratory problems. According to Francisco, a resident of Monteverde, whenever he goes to the clinic, almost everyone in the waiting room is wearing an oxygen mask. He acknowledges that the dirt roads are causing health issues and are important issues to address. Tourism increases the amount of cars on the roads. More people means more transportation is needed, so the dirt roads are traveled on more frequently. Tourism also increases development. More hotels, restaurants, and shops are needed to be built in order to accommodate. This construction utilizes tools like jackhammers that kick up dust into the air. According to the Global Burden of Asthma Study, Costa Rica has a clinical asthma rate 11.9%. This is severe considering anything above 10.1 is considered the most severe. According to the same study, the U.S. has a lower rate at 10.9%. Irritants include air pollutants and dust. The article suggests that asthma rates can be reduced by focusing on preventing asthma triggers. Preventing these exacerbations can save money in terms of medical costs, but also save money in terms of not having to take off from work and other indirect costs. While the increase in tourism is decreasing the quality of air, tourism isn't all bad for the roads. One of the strengths of the community that came through tourism is the main road through Santa Elena is paved, which allows easier access. Not only could one get healthcare access easier, but they could also get there faster. Having paved roads means the speed limit is faster, so in case of an emergency, a person could get help quicker.
The increase in tourism is also poorly affecting sanitation. The sanitation of a small community cannot support the influx of people, causing ineffective health management related to underdeveloped sanitation policies and septic system, as evidenced by small sewage lines. In Costa Rica, you cannot flush toilet paper. Flushing toilet paper can cause the sewage pipes to clog and thus back up. Instead, used toilet paper must be thrown into a trash can. The problem with the sewage lines are they are only meant to hold the sewage of 6,000 residents. They are not meant to hold the additional sewage from 240,000 tourists. Trash polluting the land. Similar to the sewage systems, trash workers and landfills cannot keep up with the demand of the amount of trash needed to be disposed of. Everywhere you look, trash is laying around, on the ground, in the gutters, and in the corners. Whenever you do find a trash can, it typically is full and overflowing. Lucasita, a resident of San Jose, says that the government only comes to pick up trash once a month. They don't have the resources to pick up trash weekly like they do in the United States. She also pointed out that if you do not get permission from the government to build your house, they will not recognize it as a property, so your trash never even gets picked up. This overflow of trash makes its way into the river, polluting the water and lining the entire banks of the river with trash. 30 years ago, Lucasita pointed out that this river used to be clean. The community members used to use it to wash their clothes and bathe in. However, they are working to improve their sanitation problem. Costa Rica started a recycling program and have bins out all over town. They have separate bins for aluminum, plastic, and paper. People are also recycling in creative ways. Some are using tires as flower pots, while others used glass bottles for decorations. The only problem is right now in Monteverde, once a month you have to take your recycling materials to the plant. There currently is no government pickup for the recycled items. However, tourism isn't all bad. Due to the influx of tourists, the Costa Rican government has improved their quality of their water sanitation so that it is clean to drink. Nicaragua and Panama, two countries that border Costa Rica, do not have safe water to drink. Here, you can drink water out of the tap, which is definitely a strength of the community.